It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show for this 18th day of January, and it's brought to you by First Southern Bank, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and Oak Quinn and Associates.
Hi, I'm Mandy Yeomans.
And I'm Raymond Brown with First Southern Bank. As your locally owned community bank, we're here to help our community grow. Our customers are why we are here. You can tell we want your business.
We offer all types of deposit products, personal and business. We have fast, efficient service, and yes, we have online banking too. I'm sure we have an account to fit your needs. Stop by or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
We're FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jesup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Are you looking for an insurance company that you can call and talk to a live person? Are you looking for an insurance company where you can walk in and talk to an agent? Are you looking for an insurance company that offers multiple companies so they can try and get you the best rate? If you said yes to any of these, then you need to call or come by Oak Quinn and Associates Insurance Financial Services. We offer multiple companies so we can find the best fit for you. Give us a call at 385-1000 or stop by our office at 212 South Fair Street right here in Jesup.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jesup, the morning show right here on WIFO, Big Dog Country Radio. World-famous Butch and Bob show here for this Wednesday morning, the 18th day of January. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Well, we're supposed to have State Representative Buddy DeLoach calling in this morning. We used to have Wednesdays with Werkheiser, and he agreed to start calling in on Wednesdays to inform folks what's going on under the Gold Dome up there in Atlanta, what's going on there. They were in session, many days last week, in session this week. Of course, this week I think they're working on stuff instead of getting together, but hadn't heard from Buddy yet. Buddy DeLoach, if you're out there, we want to hear from you. Our listeners want to know here in our area what's going on at the Gold Dome.
I gave him the number and information when he was at the
he said he was excited about it and wanted to call and so forth like that. Gives him a chance to inform the listeners out here, his constituents, about what's going on in the Golden Dome, what he's doing up there in the Golden Dome. So State Representative Buddy DeLoach, we need to hear from you. We've been promoting you're going to be on this morning. We got silence here.
It's a busy week. Like I said, Blake.
We know they're busy, but we didn't hear from him. Like yesterday with Blake, we knew he wasn't going to call in because he called you the day before and said, I'm not going to be able to, because they're working on budget and he's head of the budget. But we knew he wasn't, so we didn't promote he was going to be on yesterday morning. But we hadn't heard from Buddy. And so he's got your number and he's got, right?
He's got the right number. Right,
no, he's got your number too.
He's got
your number and the call-in line here. Right. But he never called you yesterday or anything saying the fact that he wasn't going to be able to call in because he was going to be tied up. Because sometimes these guys want to call in and then they get tied up with some meeting or something like that, or they got a meeting that's called the last moment, and so they're not able to call in. But they let us know in advance, so we don't promote all morning long that somebody's going to be on.
We have another buddy calling in tomorrow. Congressman Buddy Carter contacted us.
Now he'll
yesterday.
call.
He's calling tomorrow, looking forward to that conversation after the McCarthy 15 tries.
I know. I can't wait to talk to Congressman Buddy Carter tomorrow.
It's going to be a fun conversation tomorrow to get his thoughts on all that, what took place up there in Washington, D.C., and all the documents now being found. It's just a lot of craziness going on in Washington, D.C.
It's always crazy there in Washington. I just It's amazing.
It'll be
It's
fun.
amazing how our government works when you see all that stuff that goes on there in the Beltway there in Washington, D.C.
But our congressman's been a regular, so we look forward to hearing from him tomorrow. So he did reach out yesterday and said he'll be calling in tomorrow morning. So
we'll hear from Congressman Buddy Carter tomorrow morning on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Lots of informative, interesting, inquisitive questions we have for him tomorrow.
Should be an interesting conversation for sure. We talked to him before, they were electing the House Speaker, and he was just convinced for sure that it wasn't going to be no problem.
He did. Yeah. It's going to be Kevin. It's going to be Kevin. Don't worry about it.
He got a lot of airtime on TV, though. So,
boy, did he ever. But Congressman Carter's been on the air all the time. You see his face on everything.
He's got a nice seat. He's right there down in front
and
of
the other thing is, he introduced that fair tax bill where it's consumption tax, which is by far the fairest tax out there. But the likelihood of a tax like that passing the Senate, the House, and being signed by the president is it ain't going to happen. It just you just have too many people out there too involved in the entire tax system in order for it to get to a simple thing where when you buy something, just like with the state sales tax, when you buy something, you would have a federal sales tax on there. And so, the super rich people, when they buy these big yachts and big airplanes and big mansions and stuff like that, they'll have to pay a bunch of taxes.
He's on several committees, so it'd be interesting if he got on the committees that he wanted to. Because
he wanted to be head of the budget committee,
I think
didn't
that's
he?
what he said.
Yeah, he wanted to be head of the budget committee. It'll be interesting if he got that.
Yeah, so looking forward to hearing from him tomorrow.
Yeah, so we'll get one of the buddies to call in. Congressman Buddy Carter be on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show in the morning.
It being a dead
Lord
week
willing, and the creek don't rise.
It being a dead week in Atlanta, maybe that's why. Like I said, I've just contacted Buddy tomorrow or today. Like I said, he's got the information, so I thought for sure he'd call in.
Buddy DeLoach.
Yeah,
right. They're not meeting this week in terms of voting. They're just
looking over the budget.
They're just going over the budget and having committee meetings and stuff like that. So we really were looking forward to our very first conversation with our new state representative, Buddy DeLoach from Hinesville, which used to be Bill Werkheiser for many years, but then when they did the redistricting, we lost Werkheiser. He picked up part of Appling County. And so Buddy DeLoach is, along with Stephen Meeks, are our state representatives. And so Buddy was supposed to call in this morning on Wednesday, so Buddy DeLoach, but either forgot or he's tied up. But we just wish they would call us and say, listen, I'm going to be tied up in a meeting, so we don't promote all morning long that your new state representative is going to be on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, and you have a no-show here.
Just doesn't have the same ring to his Wednesdays with Werkheiser.
So. I know. We had Mondays with Meeks,
Tuesdays Tilleries, Wednesdays Werkheiser.
Yeah,
that sounded pretty good.
So yeah.
Just don't have anything rhyme with Buddies.
Well, no rhyme there, but we still would like to have Buddy DeLoach on every single week from the Gold Capitol.
I'm sure we'll get him, as I said, I had a good interview with him at the Eggs and Issues.
Yes, you did have a good interview with Eggs and Issues.
He's excited to be calling in, so I said maybe he just got tied up, but we'll reach out and try to line that up for next Wednesday.
Yeah, and it is his first time, so we got to get him in the habit. Text him the night before and say, remember, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock.
He's just not in the routine like Stephen and Blake are. So.
Yeah. We knew that Blake wasn't going to be on yesterday because he had mentioned that to you. And we weren't here on Monday, so we couldn't have had Stephen on.
We'll give him a pass. We'll get him next Wednesday.
We'll give him a pass this week. We'll give Buddy DeLoach a pass this week since he's not in the habit. But here it is, his opportunity to talk to thousands of his constituents, people that he represents, to let them know what he's doing up there and what's going on at the Gold Dome every week, all the way through the session. All right. Well, they got the police report on that accident with those 4 people in the SUV up there in Atlanta on that Saturday night after the parade, where 2 folks died, and it was speeding. Apparently, the lady was driving, and she took a curve too fast, lost control, hit some telephone poles, and then ended up against the side of an apartment complex. Sounds like the people on the driver's side are the ones that died. The one on the passenger side, from what I could get out of it, are the ones that are injured.
just a tragic story.
Have you seen the pictures of that thing? I'm surprised anybody in that thing survived. I mean, that's a one tangled mess of, and it was a big old Ford Expedition, so it's a nice big sturdy SUV there. But it's messed up. My word. But our thoughts and prayers go out to the Dog Nation and to the families of these folks who died and who were injured. Just a tragic situation there. But the curves will do that to you sometimes. You come up on them and you think you're okay in speed, and next thing you know, they're going too fast. Yeah. I don't know. You think they would have been down that road many times before. But it's just a tragic situation, but I'm just glad that at least two of them survived, and they'll get better. I understand that the player that is going to the NFL, he just got some stitches.
They said it was weird. That was the same day he declared to go to the NFL draft.
Yeah, declared to go to the NFL, and he got stitches is what they said in the article that I was reading.
Warren McClendon, so big offensive lineman.
Yeah,
so.
He got stitches, and I'm sure he's bruised and banged up and hurting, but doesn't sound like anything was broken, nothing major, just got some stitches or something like that.
I'm sure he's tore up about his teammate.
And emotionally, I'm sure he's out there.
So it's tough.
If you ever get in an accident like that and where you flipped around, turned over and stuff like that, that stays with you for a long time. I know. You think you're mentally, you could just get past it, but I guarantee you next time he gets in a vehicle and it jerks a little bit, his heart's going to start beating a little faster. It's hard to get over that tragedy like that when you get in a bad accident, especially when you turn over and flip and stuff like that. And even worse like that when you're in a vehicle. I would assume it would be even worse when you're in a vehicle where people actually died. And if you take a look at those pictures of that vehicle, you're surprised anybody lived from that. But thoughts and prayers out to the families. It's just a big celebration there, and it just ends that night with tragedy. Well, Bob, what's going to be the future of Tom Brady?
I don't know. Like I said, most people that saw the interview after the ball game with tears in his eyes kind of think that might be it, but they say there's a market out there for him. The rumor is he's going to Las Vegas to 1-year deal with the Raiders. So, he needs to go somewhere there's an offensive line where he has some protection.
Yeah.
But
running game. If you think with Fournette back there, he'd had a running game, but Fournette didn't pick up squat.
But you just wonder how long he can go. He said he wanted to play till he's 50. So, he won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. So it's not like he still can't play.
He stayed retired last February. Stayed retired.
I think he just, some of these guys, I don't know if you've seen that documentary with Steve Young. He talked about when he retired, it's like a death.
Oh, yeah. So, you've been doing it since you were.
Like these guys that coach, they just can't, they don't want to give it up because they don't know anything else. Like,
since you were in recreation.
Who was the coach? Was this Bear Bryant or somebody said, I don't have a garden, I don't golf, I don't fish. All I do is coach. So, but, just it'll be interesting. Like I said, the market's out. Depends on how much money they throw at him too. It's hard. You get a 1-year deal worth $20 million. Sign me up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like Aaron Rodgers. What's he gonna get next year? Something like $50 million or something like that if he plays. So how can you say I'm not gonna play when you can make that much money in 1 year?
But just watching the press conference, just reading into it, it just seemed like he might have thought to himself this. After a performance like that. Game like that, maybe it's time to just hang it up. So who knows? Time will tell. I say he'll take a vacation. He's got plenty of money. Enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
But he's in good enough shape. He can still fling it pretty good if you give him time. Yeah. He's had several of those. He still had those game-winning drives. That, he can still do it with the best of them. They don't call him to go for nothing. So it's up to him. If he wants to play, I'm sure there's a market out there. Somebody want him. I'm surprised Bill Belichick ain't calling him, begging him to come back to New England. He's the one that needs a quarterback. He knows what it is to have Brady. How many Super Bowls has he won with him? What's he done the 2 years he's been gone, or 3 years ago? Nothing. Hadn't even made the playoffs. So, Bill, if you're smart, you just call your old friend Tom Brady and tell him, you're right. It's all about the Jimmies and the Joes. It ain't about the X's and O's. I need a quarterback. I'm begging you to come back. Please come back.
Come back.
Bring Gronk with you. Gronk looks like he's in good shape too. That was the most surprising thing to me this year. I thought for sure that Gronk was just
hanging around
waiting for the call for Brady to come, helping during the playoff run, but it didn't happen. He just stayed retired, so he's just enjoying life. And I said, I still think he's going to be like Rock Johnson. He's going to get into action movies and things like that. He's got a movie career.
Yeah,
I mean, he's very personable on
very
TV.
Personal,
He's got
that great smile.
Or he could be in TV. I mean, every time he shows up on the Fox, I mean, he's very entertaining.
Yeah, very entertaining.
So,
and
he's got a bright future. He can do what he wants to do, but he's smart enough to say, I'm done with football.
Yeah, other things I'd rather be doing than put my body on the line.
But him and Brady are best friends. They're tight. So I really thought he'd come back, but he didn't. He just stayed retired. So, but Brady, no telling what he's going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Raiders. And that's the rumor.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Rumor is going. Like I said, they got rid of Derek Carr. They need a quarterback. So the rumor is that that's where he's headed for 1 year.
Hopefully he's got to have a good offensive line, and he's got to have a running game.
I tell you what he does have. He has Devontae Adams, and that may be a way to keep Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams went to the Raiders because him and Derek Carr were childhood friends, best friends. Well, Derek Carr got benched, and the story was Devontae Adams wants out of Las Vegas, but if they bring Tom Brady, he may change his mind. So, it'll be interesting how the offseason goes.
A lot of wheeling and dealing is going to be going on.
And dealing. It's just like college. All these guys in the transfer portal going here, going there. It's hard to keep up with.
It's a whole new day in college football now.
Crazy.
With the transfer portal and NIL and all that kind of stuff. It's a whole different ball game today than it was just a few years ago.
And you can turn your team around. You get all these good players to come show up on your campus. They say Auburn's been very active in the transfer portal. So we'll see how it all plays out. It'll be interesting.
Not only do you have to recruit well, you have to be able to know how to work that transfer portal.
Like Kirby says, the main thing you have to try to keep your players because everybody wants your players. So, but we got 2 receivers coming in. Kirby didn't do anything in the transfer portal this past season, but he's already got a receiver coming in from Mississippi State, got a receiver coming in from Missouri. So, I mean, he's out there getting players left and right as well. So, but it's hard to keep up with. I mean, it's just a daily thing.
You don't know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Wait till the roster is printed and when the season starts.
That's who's there.
Then who's
you don't look at the roster in August. Well, this is who we have.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's hard to keep up with. Guys transferring out, going here, going there. So, but that's the wild, wild west. That's the world we're living in right now.
Yeah. All right, you went to a couple of meetings yesterday. The county council met yesterday, and we have an interim county administrator now, right?
Yeah, long time. County clerk Amanda Hanna is going to handle both jobs until they conduct a search for the new county administrator. So I'm sure Amanda Hanna.
Okay. Amanda Hanna.
She's the interim. And I said they really hadn't put a time frame on how long it's going to take, but I'm sure they're going to take applications. Like I said, narrow it down, conduct a search, go from there. So we'll see who all's interested in taking the job.
Okay.
But they moved on. They said Ed resigned, and they gave him the one lump sum, and they're trying to move on and get on the same page and work together and for the betterment of the county. So hopefully they can do that. The city meeting was real interesting. The previous city meeting, they had the engineer of that Pine Bloom subdivision contract where they're putting in pipe and
because it always floods stuff in that area. Yeah,
they had about 40 residents there last night, and they were able to be heard from the mayor and the council, and they're not happy at all with the project going on at Pine Bloom Drive. So,
the project has to be done, right?
Well, they said the engineer was there last time, and he said it's 6% complete, and everybody was happy with the project. But they were there to make sure the council knows they're not happy with anything. They said there's ditches there, people fall in ditches, it's a mess. They don't see it going like they've been told it's going. So the city commissioners didn't have any of the answers, so they said the best thing to do is set up a public hearing and bring the engineer back, let him answer the questions of what's going on.
Sounds good. Yeah.
But that was the big topic of the city meeting. It was a packed house, so I was like, something's going on.
So we don't like what's going on in our neighborhood.
They made it clear that they're not happy at all. They say it's a total mess out there right now.
I'll have to write down Pine Bloom today.
Like the city stressed, the project's not completed. It's in the so hopefully. But it'll be interesting what the engineer says when he shows up for the public hearing, and what kind of answers he has for the residents of that area. So
remember the time it rained real hard many years ago? I mean, it just flooded in the Pine Balloon area, and you saw folks there on jet skis. That's how deep it was.
They want to know if they're they're apparently tearing up some driveways. They want to know if their driveway's going to be repaved and how it's going to.
Yeah.
It's just, from what I heard last night, it sounds like it's a big mess.
Just need their questions answered. And the water department, is the water department got their new excavator? Got their new excavator.
Yeah, you can go ahead and purchase it after a 4-2 vote, after 3 meetings.
3 meetings, what was already approved, budgeted, and ready to purchase for this year, at least get it in the, was approved by the city council, even though it had been approved before in this year's budget.
Look, Anthony's a good guy. He's been with the water department for years. I mean,
he knows what he's doing.
We said it yesterday. It's he put in the budget. It's a budget item. They approved the budget. What's the problem? Plus it came in $11,000 under budget. So I think he knows more about running the water department than any commissioner. So
and even the city manager
said we need it. So I don't understand the people that voted no, but whatever. They can vote no. But luckily, Pam Schumann was able to attend by phone and got the 4 votes. It's 4-2, so he can go ahead and get his mini excavator for the water department and move on. So I'm sure it's much needed. When the city manager says it's much needed and the water department supervisor says it's much needed, I think they know it's much needed. So glad he's getting his mini excavator. Just don't understand. Sometimes you just sit back there in the meeting, you just shake your head like.
You just shake your head sometimes. I know.
It's like Jeff Foxworth. Here's your sign. I mean, come on.
No, that's Bill Engvall.
What's that?
Bill Engvall. That here's your sign.
Oh, here's your sign. Well,
Bill Engvall. Here's your sign.
Here's your sign. I mean,
here's your sign. Bill Engvall. That was his bit years ago.
I mean, it's like, come on. You just shake your head like, what? Why?
I don't know, Bob. We have somebody who texted in this morning and says, get Tim Conkville on and find out why he voted no on the excavator.
I know.
Well, he's already said why.
He said
didn't
no.
want to spend the money.
He said he thought he was spending too much money.
Even though it was already approved, he voted for the budget and approved that on their part of the budget. And now as it came up as an individual item, he didn't want to approve what he's already approved. Is that basically what you're...
Yeah, he didn't change his stance. I mean, he just
stayed the same.
He just voted no.
So, it's not like it was an emergency item. It was put in this year's budget, approved in the budget, and they came $11,000 under budget. And that's good. When you come under budget on an item that was already budgeted for. And I got to guarantee you, the water department and the city manager wouldn't have said we needed it if they didn't need it. The last thing you want to do is have to work on a project and then wait for the road department and say, well, we got it tied up for the next 2 weeks.
I don't think you put it in your budget unless you need it.
Unless you need it, right. And the budget was approved.
But he's been there a long time. I would think he knows what's needed for the department. So that's why you have people like that. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a city manager form of government. I mean, 3 weeks ago they asked the city manager is it needed, and she said it's much needed. So to me, it was a no-brainer.
And it was already budgeted. All right, let's see here. So you had the county council meeting yesterday. We got an interim county administrator while they put the word out. We need a new county administrator here in Wayne County. Put your applications in now. And did they say if they're going to try to do it themselves or hire a firm, or do they say?
No, they're going to do it. No.
Do it in-house?
Yeah, they're doing it in-house.
Okay, do it in-house. And
they're going to take the applications, go through the applications, narrow the applications down, do the interviews, go from there. So there's no time frame on how long this will take.
Because you don't know how long. You don't know who you're going to get or whatever the case may be. And so hopefully things will continue to run smoothly. They should. The clerk there has been doing she knows what's going on.
It's like firing a coach. It's easy to fire people. The question is who's going to replace them.
Right.
And two commissioners still not happy that it went the way it did. You'll hear from Boo Thomas tomorrow on local news. So he's still not very happy how it went down. But like I said, it agreed to it. So all parties seem to be happy with the agreement.
Yeah, if you're not going to get along, you might as well just,
I mean, it's pretty much it. It was inevitable during the campaign. I mean, it was obvious what was going to take place. So, I think he saw the writing on the wall. It wasn't going to work. So best thing to do is part ways, go your separate ways, and move on. And that's what they're doing.
So we're going to part as friends.
There's no end in sight.
I have no idea how this stuff starts by itself. I really do. Here it is. I'm just talking to you, and then suddenly news starts playing. I didn't touch the mouse. I don't know how that happens. Oh, boy. Anything else going on, Bob?
Just a sad story that happened that Sunday at Dollar General. I mean, that officer's been put on administrative leave, but it's a sad story. I mean, this man's 78 years old, and, there's a physical altercation. From what I understand, it was not pretty. The police department arrested the deputy, so I don't think it's going to end well for the deputy. I don't think he'll be working much longer, but we'll see how the investigation goes.
And all that's going to all in our local newscast that we'll have for you again today at 12:15, and by 12 noon, the local news and local sports and Butch and Bob show will be podcast on BigDogCountry.com. Just go to B&B, and they all three will be there. The Butch and Bob show, local news, and local sports. And then everything will be repeated. The local news and local sports, we'll have it again this afternoon around 12:15.
All reports I got, I was just totally uncalled for. So just sad how it
We'll see how it turns out.
Yep.
Yep. All right, Bob, you have a good day.
Okay.
All right.